Hello everybody, I'm Maxi. Welcome to a new video of City Skylines 2. In this episode, I'm gonna share some tips and strategies on how to build successful commercial areas. Where should you zone them? When should you zone them? And problems about customers, etc. Now, let's get started. When we talk about where to zone commercial areas, there are two different situations. It is one case if you want to build tourism city or tourism district and make money through that, and it's another case if you want to build a city any other than that. When you want to build a tourism industry, you need to zone large commercial areas and direct large flows of tourists to there. So, these commercial areas should be clustered together and form a tourism district. And you would want to zone them around major attractions or parks with high attractiveness, because those are what you use to attract tourists. And you will need to plan your road system carefully for these tourism districts. You need to make sure that the traffic flows in and out of these districts are not overlapping with other functions of the city, because tourists bring huge burden to your city's traffic system. You don't want them to mess up with other parts of your city. And it's also because the commercial buildings need supplies from your industrial buildings. You need to also secure a traffic line for this, especially if you've built a lot of high-density commercials. So, it's important to carefully plan your roads and public transportation if you want to do tourism. And I have another two videos talking about them in details. Okay, this is the case for a tourism city. You should zone your tourism commercial areas clustered. As for the case of a non-tourism city or non-tourism districts, the best way to zone commercial areas is to insert them here and there inside your residential areas. This makes them more accessible to your citizens, and according to my experience, the inserted commercial buildings are less likely to complain about lack of customers. You can still create some smaller commercial districts for your own citizens if you want to create a landscape of downtown shopping center or something, but they shouldn't be that large as the tourism districts. Okay, now, when should you zone new commercial areas? Or should I say, when can you zone new ones? If you are building a tourism industry, naturally, you would want to zone new commercial areas whenever you can. And when can you? First, you need to have enough commercial demand bar below. Without the demand bar, even if you zone new areas, they won't build anything in it. And the ways to increase the demand is to attract more tourists or to increase your own population. But the demand bar alone is not enough. You also need to make sure that there are enough customers to support the industry. Otherwise, even if they build new commercial buildings, they would soon complain about lack of customers and then go out of business. So, my suggestion is, zone your new commercial areas in small batches at a time. Wait for them to be built and see if they are doing well. And then, zone the next batch if nobody is complaining about anything. Okay, this is how to handle new commercial areas in the tourism district. And for the other parts, my strategy is to only zone a few new commercial areas when I zone new residential areas to fulfill the needs of my new residents. And besides, I also zone some new low-density commercial areas if I need a barrier between an industrial district and a nearby residential district, because commercial areas don't mind pollution and noise, and can thus protect the residential area. But I would never upgrade the density of these barrier commercials, because that may create a new problem of traffic or customer supply. When you are talking about a successful commercial area, you don't only need them to build and run commercial buildings, you also need these buildings to level up, because the higher the level, the better they do their jobs. And the first thing you need to do when you want to level up commercial buildings is to increase the land value. The higher the land value of an area, the more the buildings are willing to level up. And to increase the land value, you need to provide all kinds of public services, like fire coverage, police coverage, parks and recreation, and of course, public transportation. And besides high land value, you also need wealthier customers to support the higher level commercial buildings. The most direct source of wealthier customers is welfare residence, which comes from residential buildings of higher levels. And the residential areas leveling up are mainly linked to the land value, which you already know how to do. So, this gives you one more reason to insert commercial buildings inside residential areas, because this way they level up alongside with the residential ones. Okay, these are my tips for successful commercial areas. Hope you find these tips useful, and happy playing, happy designing. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.